Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here quick little lesson dealing with this here article here, as, you know, basically things to foreshadow to come. All right, now, this is dealing with somebody who pretty much worked somewhat with the government or whatever, whatnot. And, you know, there is somewhat of a quote unquote conflict of interest. Like if you got a job or whatever, whatnot, at, let's just say Coca-Cola or something like that, and you're doing certain things that, you know, they're not quite with their policy or whatever, whatnot. Yeah, that could be grounds for terminations. But nevertheless, we see, you know, the further things behind these things. Why are they feeding us these here stories, you know? And the way that they have this here story, this particular story tamed, is the fact that, you know, that the government was basically trying to lower the numbers or whatever, whatnot, than what they really were. When in reality, we know that it's the opposite. It's the other way around. Actually, they're magnifying these numbers than what they really are. All right. Or you may have people that may be really misinformed of what's really going on. Like they don't know that hospitals get paid X amount of dollars for so-called COVID patients coming in, or if you basically die of a pandemic, you know, more or less to say. But nevertheless, it says the armed police pandemic data scientist Rebecca Jones, and an intolerable dystopian intimidation tactic. All right. Now, again, we understand that this is ultimately what's going to start happening to the men of the Lord. All right. As you can see, the precursor of these things, how they're trying to, you know, if you're a YouTube creator, all right, you've known since what was it? Maybe around the end of last year, maybe somewhere around the end of last year, where they started with all these major YouTube changes, like the one for the children, where you gotta select whether or not your video is made for children or not. You know, when they started putting up these little boxes, like let's say, for instance, if you talk about this here situation, let me see. If you talk about this here situation here, you know, they pretty much put a box up under your title, you know, or your video, or whatever, whatnot, which also puts you in certain boxes, and then they heavily watch you, you know. But we know that, you know, basically, according to the scriptures, you know, that they're trying to silence us from bringing out the truth. All right, you know, basically because like in the scripture, it says 2 Thessalonians 2:8, then the wicked shall, roughly paraphrasing, then the wicked shall basically be revealed, you know, and they're going to be consumed at the spirit of the Lord's mouth. All right, which are his prophets. His prophets are going to be revealing who the devil is. All right, the man of sin and the son of perdition is being revealed through whom? The prophets. All right, which is gonna, you know, it's like the movie Wizard of Oz. All right, you know, Oz had or whatever his name was, he had all this power and control over all the people, because why? The deception of all his deceptive tactics and things that he was doing. All right, but once the curtain was pulled back, and it was just some little small guy on this little stool with all these mechanics and trickery and whatever, whatnot, he pretty much lost all his power, right? So we're pretty much in that same setting, you know. It's like the damn little dog Toto is pulling the curtain back, and he's trying to keep the curtain closed, because he knows as soon as that curtain is pulled back and everybody see who's behind there, all his power is lost. He didn't have to raise a gun and try to force somebody to do anything, but it was all these illusions. But now all these illusions are being brought down, all right? All these strongholds are being broken down right now, all right? So this is going back to this here article. It says the Sunshine State, and this is where we are down here in Florida, all right? It says the Sunshine State made headlines when law enforcement agents storm sack whistleblower. All right, and you got to go into what a whistleblower is, you know, because, you know, they got these certain terms or whatever, whatnot. But hey, if you're blowing a whistle on certain things, all right, you're basically telling on somebody of certain things. You know, it's like you know, just because you're a whistleblower don't mean it's like, oh, it's fake or whatever, whatnot. Let's just say, for instance, in a way drastic measure, some woman gets raped, right, and she don't say nothing, right? She just don't say anything at all, right? Then you get a different woman who winds up getting raped, and she says something about it. Well, basically, in a sense, she's basically whistleblowing. Not saying that anything that she did was wrong or anything like that, or it's a conspiracy or a lie. She's just voicing the wrongs that she's seeing, right? Bringing it to the forefront. You know, when they say, see something, say something. You know, you see something going on or whatever, whatnot, you basically blowing the whistle on what's going on. Just like in sports or whatever, whatnot, where the referees blow the whistle because, oh, there's an infraction that occurred on the field, all right? So it says Sunshine State made headlines when law enforcement agents stormed, sacked whistleblower Rebecca Jones' residence, allegedly pointing guns at her and her children, then seizing her computer, phone, and hard drives. Now, again, not touching too much on into this here story because, again, was some government agent. You know, she worked for the government or whatever, whatnot, and really she got their property or whatever, whatnot, and they could play it. Well, we're just getting our shit back, and, you know, she's compromising national security or whatever, whatnot, with just those components. It wasn't about her speaking out. But we ultimately know that these things are about us speaking out because of the fact of how they're doing our videos and they're making all these different changes. If you say certain things in your videos or whatever, whatnot, they wind up taking it down for, you know, saying things like medical misinformation or whatever, whatnot. You know, if it don't go according to what they say, or if they say if you speak out against the World Health Organization, it's going against that establishment, as if these people were never wrong. Hey, come on, man. These corporations, these agencies, and all these things are headed by what? People. Just like the government. If you're like, well, what's the government? It's not buildings, it's not paper, it's the people that's in there working. These people are human beings too. They can make mistakes, they can lie. They could be deceptive or whatever, whatnot. Just like a police officer. Just because he got a badge and a gun don't mean he gonna always be honest and tell the truth. This is a regular human being with a job and a uniform on, man. All right, you can have the same murderous liar, you know, whatever, whatnot person go get that same ass job, but don't change it. Oh, now he's all of a sudden righteous because he got the uniform on, right? So it says, according to state official Jones, a former Florida Department of Health data scientist was fired for insubordination. Now, again, they saying she's a scientist. Why not trust the science, right? What if she discovers something that y'all don't agree with, but the science is true? All right, are we trusting the science or are we trusting what they're trying to feed us? All right. She was fired for insubordination, but claims she was dismissed for refusing to alter official pandemic data to make reopening the state more palatable for the public at the behest of Republican government Ron DeSantis, a close ally to U.S. President Donald Trump. After her firing, Jones, the former Geographic Information System Manager for the Florida DOH, created her own information dashboard and gained a large public following, just like how we got, you know, this here truth, all right? Her public recognition immediately became a political. Some see her as a hero and others as having her own political agenda. So here we go with the demonization, but it's because of the fact that she got traction, all right? People were actually listening and watching what she was going on and saying. You know, if you was bringing out 100% truth or whatever, whatnot, exposing everything, but you only get, 0 views, 1 views. They're not really tripping over those things, man. All right, but you got this big following and people are actually listening to you and believing you in these things. And you're bringing out the truth. Then that's when it's a problem, man. All right, but then again, you can go out, hey, just like on certain videos or whatever, whatnot, depending on what topic that you're speaking on, you may have some woman that's breaking down certain things or whatever, whatnot. She may have a sleeveless shirt on or whatever, whatnot, like those ones with the little strap that go over the shoulders and shit like that, right? They may flag her video for sexual misconduct or something like that, showing too much skin. But they'll let, any of these music videos where all these women twerking, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and shit like that, they'll let those things fly where they're borderline pornos, right? But nevertheless, or Miley Cyrus, they'll have those things play. But, some woman bringing out information and, not even really a revealing something she can go pick up her kids in school with, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, well, she's sexually misconduct, or this isn't for children, But it says, she was publicly criticized by Governor DeSantis as not being a real data scientist. All right, is she not a real scientist because of the fact that you called her not a scientist, or or is she a real scientist because she went to school for these things? It's all basically about what they want you to believe. It don't matter, because shit, if you know what nepotism is, you can get a job or whatever, whatnot. Don't make you an expert. They just put you there, man. All right. Jones' house was stormed according to the official affidavit because an unauthorized message sent from an official state emergency management account that urged DOH employees to speak out was traced back to her, which she denies. A USA Today reported others in the field see that as a clear attempt as an intimidation to scary Tom to be a researcher. All right, we're going to stop reading there. But nevertheless, the point is that we're trying to bring out in this here article is the fact of how they're trying to silence people for, not even speaking the truth, but going against the main statement that they're trying to push off, the agenda they're trying to push off, all right? Because like I said, this could be one of those statements where people, where they're trying to get people to be like, oh, see, the numbers are the numbers are actually higher than what they really are, blah, 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 to feed into this, to further push this here thing. But nevertheless, we understand that for bringing out this here truth and exposing the damn devil for who he is, all right, the devil don't want that, because going back to the Wizard of Oz example, once you pull back the curtain, all your powers diminish at that point in time, man, all right? Let's grab some scriptures. This is Isaiah. Give me a second. We'll start at verse 20. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. All right. So, hey, again, going into these situations is not necessarily that, oh, well, we want you to tell the truth because, you know, you grow up there, everybody else, you shouldn't lie. You should always tell the truth and so on and so forth. Well, when you get into these certain, if you really understand how this here shit works, right? And getting jobs and everything like that. It's not about how good you are or whatever, whatnot. It's how good you are at following orders and not questioning what's going on and going along with the agenda. All right, because you could have a skilled worker in a certain company or whatever, whatnot, or whatever, you know, the best doctor, the best heart surgeon or whatever, whatnot. But then if they discover that, oh, man, y'all creating insurance fraud or a mechanic or something like that, like, yo, y'all building these folks for shit that y'all only be building with or whatever, whatnot. Even though I bring in the most clients, they bring in the company the most money and this and that, they're going to get rid of me because, why? I'm exposing their wickedness of what they're doing. Nah, this is good. Just don't say nothing about it, man. We've all had those types of jobs where, you know, even from the most smallest job working at a restaurant or something like that, you know, where they be like, look, put more ice into the cup so they get less drink in there or whatever, whatnot, or so on and so forth. And like, nah, bro, like, why not just give them what the hell they pay for or whatever, whatnot, you know? But then, you know what I'm saying? Once the boss finds out that you're not trying to be slick and slide with them, they wind up letting you go. And then you think about it like, damn, I was let go for telling the truth and being honest. No, it's not that, you know, that's the problem. The problem is you're not going along with their agenda. So let me read this again. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good. All right. Just like, you know, not necessarily not telling the truth, but not going along with the official agenda. All right. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. All right. And that's what's going on right now. You know, they want to hear, you know, they want to, like the scriptures say, prophesy unto us smooth things. You know, they be like, look, listen, tell the people basically what they want to hear. Tell the people X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. Don't give them the whole shebang or whatever, whatnot, man. Why not just be honest with people, you know? And, hey, just on the smallest level, man, sometimes if we were way more honest with the people around us and the rest of the world would probably be a lot better place. But, you know, some people say, oh, that's just how they are or whatever, whatnot, man. That's wickedness, man. All right? And also in this same thing, you know, no, they don't want you to tell the truth about what they're trying to you know, how they're trying to curve this here pandemic, because and ultimately they're trying to, you know, enact their new world order and their agenda. All right. But they don't want to be exposed with those things. All right. So basically they call you the bad guy for these things, for basically telling them the truth and exposing their plan. It's not that you're saying anything wrong. You're saying exactly what they're doing. If it was so wrong with what I'm saying, how about what you're doing? If I tell you, hey, man, you over there killing that woman, you shouldn't speak about such violence. I'm like, well, I'm speaking about it, but you over there physically enacting the violence, man. So how much more worse off are you than I am, man? All right, continuing on. Verse 21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. So again, you have certain people like this where it's like, it don't matter about the truth or what's right and what's wrong. It's what's best for them. You know, you see this in poor business practices where a business owner may do certain things like, for a prime example, you know, I used to work at this restaurant. This was my first job, as a matter of fact. Worked there for quite a few years or whatever, whatnot. And the owner of this here business wound up dying in a car accident or whatever, whatnot. Somebody else came and took over, which was somebody who used to work there, and he was a scam artist. So he brought somebody else over from California or whatever, whatnot, and got her to pretty much fork up all the money for it and everything like that. Then told the girl, this is how we gonna do it. Even though this dude had been the main cook, knew all the ingredients, how everything rolled, knew all the normal customers and everything, he fed homegirl lines about certain things. Look, use a cheaper product, do this, use these amounts of portions or whatever, whatnot, you know? But nevertheless, at the end all be all, he wound up devaluing that business, basically running that business out of business, because all the regulars, he knew what they wouldn't like and whatever, whatnot, but he devalued it and wound up buying it back from her for pennies on a dollar after selling it to her for a skyrocket profit, man. All right. He didn't tell her what was right and how she should do things a certain type of way. He told her certain things that would benefit him, because he knew once he got the business, all right, he bought it for a certain price, sold it to her for more of the price, fed her a bunch of lies and BS so that she would run the business down into the ground. And then when she was like stressed out about it, basically he was like, look, I'll take it up off of your hands, but I'm not going to pay you what you paid me for it or whatever, whatnot, so on and so forth. So he wound up buying it again for pennies on the dollars, making a double sell, and then selling it again, man. All right. So, hey, not everybody have their best intentions when they're telling you certain things. So let me read that again. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. All right, because they're trying to push this here agenda. All right. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and the men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous of him. So when you go into these things, just like now, you have a lot of these people that are being paid off, a lot of these celebrities or whatever, whatnot, to endorse certain things and people and politicians and things like that. Whether, like, hey, think about this, man. The people that are McDonald's, right? The owners of McDonald's or whatever, whatnot, they pay for advertisement to get people to come in and buy McDonald's. They like, oh, we love to see you smile. Our food is so good, this and that. But lo and behold, these people don't feed this shit to their kids, man. They wouldn't feed this to their wife, their children, or so on and so forth, or any of their relatives, because they know it ain't good. But they're pushing out and promoting that the food is good for their own agenda so that they can make money, man. Not because it's actually a good product and that they stand behind their own product, man. All right, a lot of shady car salesmen wouldn't buy no damn car from the car lot that they work at, let alone they're trying to entice you to buy one, telling you how great of a car and dealership that they are and family oriented, but they wouldn't buy a car from them. They're only trying to push that to get their commission so it benefits them. All right, so let me go from here to Matthew chapter 24. Matter of fact, let me well, I'll just get it 24. I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Where is it at? Matthew 24:11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. So right now we're in a time where a bunch of lies are going out, man. And you have a lot of these people that are put up in the forefront that can speak well and sound smart or whatever, whatnot. And this is one of the things that they love to do. They'll put these certain titles on people or whatever, whatnot, just like on, your regular news agency, CNN or whatever, whatnot. They're like, top economist, expert economist, and top doctor, top scientist. Like, yo, these are all actors, and they're just putting these names in front of folks, and they know that you'll believe these. Oh, the doctor on TV said, or so on and so forth. Not realizing they're just reading teleprompters and whatever, whatnot, man. All right, but nevertheless, these are people that are set up to lead you astray, man. These are false prophets, man. All right, even down all the way to your churches and everything like that, because they're 501c3s. All right, for the most part, tax exempt. All right, and they have to be in line with the doctrine that the government is pushing. They can't speak out against these things. This is also how the government, especially for the so-called, the Israelite community, all right, because they know that they don't directly influence us from their governmental standpoint. So who do they go to, who are our so-called leaders that they go to influence us? The celebrities or our pastors in our churches, man. All right, so they'll go to the church and tell you that, oh, this and that and so on and so forth. The mark of the beast is not what you think it is. It's not these things that's coming out, and it's perfectly fine to go online with this here government or whatever, whatnot, and follow after their agenda and things like that, man. And don't speak out about these things, man. All right. But nevertheless, they would never speak out about these things of politicians and stuff like this, because why? They were set up to deceive you in these times, man. All right. Hey, also, let me read verse 12. And because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. We're in a time now where a lot of people are just looking out for their own self. Like, hey, man, if that's them, they get led astray or whatever, whatnot, that's on them, man. All right. Just like a lot of these rappers. What's that boy name? Yo Gotti, right? Now, if you know who Yo Gotti is, his whole shtick is he a big cocaine dealer. Also Future, right? Now, I don't know how true or not this is, but apparently neither one of these two dudes do no kind of drugs, don't drink no kind of alcohol. I think 50 Cent was like that too, where he don't smoke, he don't drink, he don't do no drugs, but they all promote, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, and it's cocaine this and cocaine music group and shit like that, but they're just promoting and pushing these things. All right, because why? This is their job to promote a certain agenda. So let me go on up again. Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. All right, so going into these things for basically speaking out on the truth and whatever, whatnot, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right, now when you go into this, who gave us this here truth, man? This is why we say, a lot of times you hear us say certain things like call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, which means basically basically giving all praise to the Most High, His Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Or we'll say certain things, basically along those same lines, you know what I'm saying? Giving, honor and glory into the Most High and His Son through the Holy Spirit, because this is how we wind up getting this here truth, man. All right, so it all goes back unto them. All right, but nevertheless, so the things that we know and the will and the works that we do, all right, the Most High and His Son, through the Holy Spirit, get all the honor and glory for those things, right? So what? We're speaking out, not for our own gain or our own benefit. It's not like, oh, I just want to be the illest nigga on YouTube and get all these views and admiration or whatever, whatnot. No, this is our job and our duty so that the Most High and His Son get the honor and glory for these things, But nevertheless, because we're speaking out, standing boldly in the face of those that afflicted us, standing up for righteousness in these times, and having faith in a time where there is no faith, man. All right? So it says, they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So when we come out with this here truth, all right, first and foremost, the government, they don't like us coming out with this here truth, man. All right? They're going to hate us because, why? Again, we're not standing for our own admiration or glory or whatever, whatnot, so we can be the illest niggas on YouTube, but all the truth, oh, this nigga's so smart. No, man. Yahweh Shemi Yahushua is getting all the honor and glory for these things, and we're bringing out this here truth in His name. But guess what? They hate us because we're bringing out this here truth, man. All right? And it says, let me read that again. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, all right? Whether you wind up losing your job, all right, get thrown in jail, and then, a lot of times they'll just do that on throw you in jail and give you a long-ass court date while they collect evidence or whatever, whatnot. And in due time, you've lost your job. You fell behind on rent, getting evicted, your car get repossessed and everything like that. Then they throw you back out there or whatever, whatnot. Now you in a way shittier situation, all right, being afflicted and tormented, or they put you up on the news like Homegirl or whatever, whatnot. Guarantee, if this was a whole real situation and not just some kind of ploy that they got, imagine how hard it's going to be for Homegirl to get a job, man. When they go do a background check on her or whatever, whatnot, they're like, oh, nah, hell nah, this might be bad for our company or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, so how much more for us in these times and these days, man, when they can put whatever they want to put on our files or whatever, whatnot, we got to go try to get a job, and just because you're speaking the truth, they pretty much demonize you, man. All right, let me read it again. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So ultimately, they want to cast us into these, quarantine camps or whatever, whatnot. They bought all these guillotines and all these bullets, all right? Because why? They want to silence all these, they want to basically silence the men of the Lord, man, ultimately. Let me go from here. I just quoted this. Let me grab this real quick and we'll close out. Revelation 2:9, or 2:10. Fear none of those things. Let me see. Sometimes these two go together. No, we're going to just read 2:10. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. All right. So, hey, it's like the first step of coming into the truth and becoming a teacher out on the highways and the byways, man. All right, you have to fear none of those things that can happen unto you, man. The embarrassment that your friends, your girlfriend, your parents, co-workers, your boss, anybody can walk by the camp and see you. People can, hey, you had those people that walk by and they'll take the videos and pictures and make memes of you and circulate them on the internet, and people see you or whatever, whatnot. And you just got to take that embarrassment, man. People find out what you do or whatever, whatnot, and quote unquote, not really embarrassment, but they try to shame you over these things, man. You get over these things, man. All right. So it says, fear none of those things. And also, losing your job, losing housing, like I said, with old girl, once they try to do a background check on her name, they're going to find out about these different things. So, in these times, where they may put it in your records or whatever, whatnot, you try to go get a job, like, oh, well, this guy is a so-called advocate for certain things. He's a protester. He's always doing these types of things or whatever, whatnot. Don't believe in this. Is an unsafe and work environment. Got fired for not wanting to take this medical treatment or whatever, whatnot. Just demonize you all kind of ways inside the paperwork, Like they go and they do a background check and they see all these here files, man. Hey, you pretty much going to be out of getting work and everything like that, man. All right. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, all right. Obviously, he's called a devil because he's a deceiver, and this ain't nobody good, man. He don't have the best intentions for you. He ain't playing fair, man. All right, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried, that you might be tried. So, hey, you don't sit there and you fall. You're like, you know what, I'm going to change. All right, I quit doing what I'm doing, man. At the mere sight or the mere threat of certain things, you get these agents come knocking on your door, asking you about some of the videos you've been uploading and so on and so forth. We see you put up some videos about this and that, and so on and so forth, and this and that, or you show up to work and it's like, hey, man, there was some FBI agents here. They was questioning about this and that, so on and so forth. We got to let you go or whatever, whatnot, man. Hey, well, fuck it. That's just, it is what it is, man. Hey, you'd rather be persecuted for doing what's righteous and standing up for the Lord than trying to cover up for this damn devil in these times, man, and they have to pay the judgment of the Lord, man. You'd rather be sitting out here and being judged by this here wicked-ass society that's about to catch the judgment of the Lord than being judged by the Lord and die with this wicked-ass society, man. All right? Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right. So, hey, man, you got to stand strong, especially in these times, man. Stand on your faith, man. All right. We'll close out here in Galatians. This is Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? All right. Now this is becoming more and more, how do I say, pliable in these times, man. Because why? They of thy own household shall be of thy enemies. So when you start telling your relatives and your family that this is what's going on, it's the truth, man, they're gonna start looking at you like you bugged out, man. Your wife, your kids, or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, it's your job. They're like, yo, you got to take this here medical situation or whatever, whatnot. Then all of a sudden, like, nah, I don't stand for that or whatever, whatnot. Then they all of a sudden look at you all weird as if you some 10-headed monster. What kind of person wouldn't want to do this? You know, so on and so forth, you know, all these different things and whatever, whatnot, you know. But it says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And ultimately, hey, are we become enemies of the state because we're speaking the truth against a tyrannical government? You know, just like, you know, in hindsight, you know, imagine some so-called, well, I would say Jewish people, but let's just say some Germans in a time of the reign of Hitler. If he was a quote-unquote whistleblower knowing the whole, let's say the planet they had going, you know, the planet that you so-called know in the regular media, right? So if you had a German whistleblower out there saying, hey, look, man, Hitler's planning on exterminating all these Jewish people out here, man, or whatever, whatnot, y'all. Hey, this nigga about to go in on y'all, whatever, whatnot, you know? Nowadays, in hindsight, we would say, oh, he was a hero for speaking up and telling the truth. But in those times, that point in time, you'd be like, oh, you're an enemy of the state. You're, you know, what they call it, treason or whatever, whatnot. You know, you're speaking out against the state. And they would probably put him to death in those times. But as time goes by and you see what, you know, the truth is being revealed, in modern day times today, if you was to run that story about a German that was in that army speaking out against Hitler, we'd be like, oh, this was a hero. He was bold. He was strong and full of courage for speaking out against such a tyrannical government at this point in time. We in the same spot right now, man. All right. So, you know, let me read it again. Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth, man? All right. And ultimately, we're going to be cast out as enemies of the state right now, man, for speaking what? The truth, not lies, but the truth, man. All right. And the truth, which is exposing their so this word came into mind. Job 5:12 says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So the Most High is about to disappoint their devices so that they cannot perform their enterprise, which is what? The completion of their new world order. All right. Let me jump down to, actually it's in chapter 20. And we know how this is all going to end. We'll close out here. Job 20 and I want to say 20. 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, all right, when he's about to ultimately get this new world order 100% complete, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. And he shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Reading all of that to say this, man. All right. When he's about to fill his belly in the fullness of his sufficiency, that's when the Most High is going to disappoint the device of the crafty, so that he cannot perform his enterprise, which is setting up his new world order fully, you know, which is going to be, you know, him and his deception pushing this here agenda all the way to the end, which, you know, they're going to try to silence us over these things, which is going to bring in what? The famine of the word, man. But what? At the end all be all, have we become your enemy because we tell you the truth, man? You know, as time's going to go back, you know, when we get into the kingdom and everything like that, and man, people are like, damn, they tried to tell us, especially 2/3 of Israel, damn, they tried to tell us, but we was, you know, believing in the damn devil, man. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and our will. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.